Hi, this is Billie Beene kicking off a new series, Weather by Billie. Today's date is September 18, 2022. This is a new YouTube channel for me. I have a subscribe button in the lower right corner of my screen. Thanks for like, subscribe, and share. Okay, episode 1, Winter. The deaths are up in 2022, and the South Atlantic anomaly has split. Some of my sources are God in the Bible, Patriot subscribers, Dr. John Campbell, Dr. Jim Willlie, Suspicious Observers, Cliff High, Mike from Around the World, ABC News, Wall Street Journal, and NASA. So let's get to it. Okay. I've been talking about, in some of my previous videos on my Truth by Billie Beene series about this coming winter being in 2022, 2023, being cold, coming earlier and being colder and lasting longer. And some of that information came from Mike from Around the World. He's regularly on Pastor Paul Bigley's Thursday night program, and we believe he works for the NSA. Mike knows stuff. So Mike from Around the World is talking about in Texas this winter 2022 to 2023 is going to be 2 times as cold as it was in February of 2021. And I did the numbers. I had a Patriot subscriber just north of Houston said, yeah, we were down to 11 degrees. Well, with this type temperatures coming this winter in Texas, we would expect to be below 0. And our infrastructure is really not designed for that. And then we had Farmer's Almanac saying in the East U.S. in January, like 2/3 from Canada. So we know that would affect Canada also, all the way down to like South Carolina or so, is going to be minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit in January. And again, our infrastructure is not calibrated for that. So what's bringing this on? So we have Cliff High. He has the WebBot data. And we have other sources for an ice age. I think Alex Collier brought that out too, 2030. So what's happening is that the Earth is going to be getting colder. Now, we have some things going on. Here's the Earth. We have our core, and from this, we generate an electromagnetic shield around the Earth to protect us from the sun. And in some patterns of the sun, that can bring on cold. And we have Suspicious Observers. Ben Davidson, a science-based space weather program, has brought this out. And this is also my background in college was life earth science, and I was particularly drawn to pole shifts and things about the Earth. So, yeah. And so for decades, the electromagnetic shield around the Earth has been going down. This also would figure into the ice age coming and the colder winter. Now, what's going on and what I'm going to be reporting here is a number of deaths have been documented as going up. This is for 2022. Non-sea related. And so I'm bringing this out. And by the way, it was God who said, yeah, start this new series. So that's what I'm doing. All right. So now, Dr. John Campbell, PhD, nursing in England, has brought some information out that comparing data for 2019 to 2016. 2016. So this would be good data pre-C virus for the number of deaths from various causes. And so what he has found out, and which is correlated also by other sources, is that the deaths have gone up. And he did like through July of 2022. And this is for Europe. So the number of deaths that are not C virus, they're like heart attacks, chronic health, dementia saw a big increase, and other causes. Okay, so in Spain it was a plus 37%, and we're talking about from January to July of 2022. There's been that big an increase in the number of deaths over previous years, and these causes are non-C virus. Spain plus 37%, Greece plus 31%, Portugal plus 29%, and I will say on these percentages, on each one of them I rounded up. Switzerland plus 26%, Italy plus 25%, Austria plus 18%, Slovenia plus 17%, Ireland plus 17%, Germany plus 16%, Norway plus 15%, Netherlands, also called Holland, plus 15%, Croatia plus 15%, France plus 15%, Estonia plus 13%, Luxembourg plus 11%, Denmark plus 11%. Now for England, Dr. Campbell looked at all ages, and in each age category, the number of deaths for 2022 not related to the C virus were all up. From 0 to 24, 25 to 49, 50 to 64, and 65 plus. And the primary reasons for the deaths he was finding was cardio, cancer, respiratory, and other chronic diseases. Now, I have some information from ABC News, and that was dated on August 7 of 2022, that non-C virus deaths in the U.S. are up in 2022, correlating to that European information from Dr. Campbell. 4,000 plus are 5%. And also in the U.S., they were seeing an increase in dementia, up 20%. And I believe this correlates to some other factors I'll bring out. Diabetes was a plus 18%. Okay. Now, Wall Street Journal is bringing this out, that for the life insurance, life insurance companies reporting claims in 2022, non-C virus, the claims are up 19%. Now, Dr. Jim Willlie, whose PhD is in statistical analysis, he's an economist based out of Costa Rica, had brought this up, that in the life insurance business, he had been asked to do some measurements there, and he could show it was up 40% in terms of claims for death. But that included both the C and the non-C. So we see this correlates directly to this information coming out by the Wall Street Journal also. Okay. Now we have, some of these factors that correlate to a winter, and I believe some of the factors for the number of deaths being up. One impact, and a big impact, could have been social. That would have been the lockdown that was associated, and this new information that came out about the C virus. This impacts populations. I know currently in the United States we have this political situation going on, and all this new information, and people saying, well, and like Cliff High calls the normies, the people who get all their news from mainstream media and actually believe it. And my position had been, it's good to take things slowly. And I noticed that the White Hats also put things out on a news cycle in multiple venues, a word here and a word there. That works best with human populations to avoid extreme psychological shocks. So I'm not surprised from the lockdowns we saw in 2020 to see an increased number of deaths. This is how human populations react to extreme changes on a country basis, or in this case it was a global basis, and the extreme can mutate genes, and this can last for several generations. So yeah, I'm not surprised about that. So that's going on. So we had social factors, but now we're getting into some physical factors, and I'll show you. So we have mutations occurring in human populations, I believe based on social events and shock and change from the 2020 C event. Now we add to that suspicious observers. Ben Davidson is bringing out this information that there's been data to correlate the sun and the electromagnetic shield around the earth going down, and that brings on more mutations. That's correct, from the radiation. So we see a coupling of factors here. Now, this is information, and I give God the credit for this, coming out that we do have a weakening electromagnetic shield around the earth, and it's been going on for decades. Now, here we have Africa, we have South America, and we have this area called the South Atlantic Anomaly. And this has been going on for decades, and it's abbreviated South Atlantic Anomaly. This is a much weaker area of the electromagnetic shield, and it's covering now all of this area. And now we find out that it's also splitting and coming from East Africa all the way up to Europe. So we see an increased effect on human populations from an electromagnetic field that spreads. It's spreading at 20 kilometers per year, or 12 miles per year. And this area here and here, the electromagnetic shield around the earth comes down to 120 miles above the earth, or 200 kilometers. Now, this has historically been known to be no-fly zones for spacecraft, and recently on Suspicious Observers, Ben Davidson reported that there had been an increased measurement of radiation coming inside commercial airliners. He didn't name the area, but most aircrafts are going around this type area. So this is what I would like to submit. So we have winter for 2022, and we have predictions already coming out from government sources for it to be the cold temperatures to be 2 times to 3 times as cold as normal, which in many locations the infrastructure is not up for that. I submit this correlates also with the electromagnetic shield around the earth going down, and we see it now affecting Europe. So I believe this also leads to a mutation in genes and in our immune system. So I believe that we can see definitely an increase in the death rates coming up for this next year. So now we know what to pray against, don't we? And through this Weather by Billie, there'll be some interesting things, I'm sure. So we can pray against this. I love you, and I'll see you soon.